Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we are going to be fully enchanting our gear, and we're also going to be finishing up a little bit of Botania. So, I hope you guys are ready. So, where we left off last time, we were kind of looking at our enchanter setup that is going on with Industrial Foregoing. I did kind of run into a problem though. The Supremium that we have doesn't exactly want to go into the slot that it's supposed to go into. It doesn't actually want to go into this at all. And then on top of that, the particular books that I've tried to combine doesn't want to sort of combine. But I did find out that if I just combine them all inside of a single book, it is way easier to use this. And we won't run into any issues, at least I hope. So if we take like Aqua Affinity here and I combine it with this book, it's only going to cost us 2 to add it to that book. And now we have a book that has Unbreaking 3, Last Stand 2, it has the Tombstone, Soulbound, Protection 4, Mending, Repellent 4, and Aqua Affinity. Now I do have a couple of things that are down here that are going to be added to like our boots and stuff. So we have like Feather Falling, Multi-Jump, and then over here is Shadow Step. But everything else that is listed in here just needs to be combined together. So you can see like this is going to get combined, and then we add this. We should be able to add the Protection, add Mending, and then add the Repellent, and we have another great book. This one is going to be the one for our head. This is going to be for our base, and we should have enough levels. If not, we can always go pull some more out, because of course we have tons of levels that have built up over time. It's going to be for our leggings, and then this should be our final book, which this one's actually going to probably get kind of expensive, as it is going to require everything. You can see we've already ran out of levels here. That is perfectly fine. What we're going to do with that, of course, we're going to throw our helmet on so we can get some flight. We're going to run back over to our area in which we have our levels stored. Look at that. We still have so many levels. And we're going to retrieve, I don't know, 100 more levels. And that should get us by for a little bit. Of course, I think we're going to have to come back a couple more times. But the anvil that I'm using, I kind of want to talk about 2 of these anvils that are over here. This anvil is a regular dark steel anvil, which lasts a lot longer than a normal anvil. And then this right here is a powered anvil. That's what allowed me to repair my armor back to full. And it's really fast. This will basically repair tons of items, which is great. So let's go ahead and get this back in here, making sure that we have enough levels for everything. And this will be our boots. Perfect. Awesome. So let's go ahead and take our armor off. Helmet. This is going to be 31 levels for our helmet to be enchanted. And hopefully our chest piece, if I can put this in correctly, chest piece is going to be 29 levels. That's going to leave us with a little bit more to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull about 100 more levels out. Actually, I'm going to probably pull 120 levels out, just because I know that my boots are going to be super expensive, and I hope they're not too expensive, as I am going to be pushing a lot. But you can see that didn't even change. We're at 745 levels. I just pulled out over 200 levels and didn't even nudge. It barely even moved off of that 700. It is absolutely ridiculous. We have so much experience stored. My goodness. Okay, so this should be our pants. And last but not least, I hope this isn't too expensive. Oh, it's too expensive. So something needs to come off of here. And I don't think we can put, yeah, I wish I could use this. It wouldn't be too expensive, but we're going to have to pull some of these off. And we're going to see which ones it pull off. Unbreaking and Last Stand. Okay, those are ones I definitely want. And I want these. All right, these are the ones that I definitely want on these boots. Go ahead and combine those back together. And I guess we're just going to have to pick on the ones that we want. We definitely want Mending, so it's going to pull Mending off next. And then Repellent. We can probably take Repellent. I don't know. Repellent might be something we definitely want. We have Feather Falling and Jump. We don't need Feather Falling. So Feather Falling we can take off. Multi-Jump and Shadow Step are something that I actually kind of want. So let's go ahead and add repellent, multi-jump, and shadow step. I want both of those, but we don't really need much of the other stuff. I'll try and just do it by taking one off. It's probably gonna be too expensive. Oh nope, it's perfect, guys. This is one kitted out set of gear. Like, this is nice. Like, we have a really nice set of enchanted gear here. Now I did want to test out some of the mob things that it said it can do. Like, when a mob's around. Okay, well that didn't work. The repellent. I'm kind of curious at what the repellent does. Okay, so they sort of run away from you. Some do. Ah, they get teleported if they hit you. Oh, that's sort of cool. Of course, he won't do it. But like, when they hit you, they take some damage. Okay, I do want to find a creeper. I want to see what the creeper does, how much damage. So that is doing like no damage at all. No damage at all, it seems like. And we don't have any hunger. How much does an arrow do? No damage. Okay. Now these are just from normal mobs. So I would really like to see a creeper in action. Alright, creeper, give me all you got. No damage. Wow. And we don't have saturation. It's not like we have saturation either. Also, we do have triple jump. So if I hold down the jump button. So hold down the jump button. We can sort of jump in the air. That's kind of cool. That would be really cool with the glider. So yeah, I mean, this is a really kitted out set of armor. Now, normally, this would work. I think it's just something to do with this armor. So like for a sword, it would definitely enchant it normally. And I mean, I can kind of test that out if we take a sword. Now, for some reason, enchants are kind of hard to kind of navigate, right? The only way I can find them is by looking up book. Unfortunately, I can't like search like specifically the item. So let's go ahead and find like, I don't know, sweeping edge, sharpness, like sharpness. Let me try it. Can we put sharpness and bane on the same sword? Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. And like if we don't like what we get on here, we can always take it off, right? So if you put sharpness on, right. And now we can try and put bane. Okay, it doesn't let you put bane on there. It'll let you put unbreaking. And like it'll keep letting you put this stuff on here, and it doesn't run into that problem where we do with the anvil, where it goes, oh, this is too expensive. So you can just basically any enchant that can go on this sword. Keep in mind that the ones that can't go on swords entirely, you'll find that all of these enchants for the most part will be able to go on that sword. And I think even, let's see, book. I know I've seen some people like put certain things on here that like shouldn't really go on a sword. I don't think this will work. Where you put respiration on a sword. No. So there are some things that work that shouldn't go on swords, and usually it's related to like other mods where that can happen, but you can get some pretty nice gear. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you can get some pretty cool enchanted gear. Like, this gear already is pretty ridiculous, and we haven't even put our cores in it. So you can see the charm slot is empty, and like, we do have charm. We have these charms we can put. It would be really great to get some strength charms that would make killing the dragon really fast. Charms of resistance. Fire resistance would be great. Anti-venom would prevent us getting from poisoned, and also anti-wither would prevent us from getting wither. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what would be the best ones to choose. Speed really doesn't matter. We have a speed charm that gives us way more speed than I would ever want. So I would say like the wither, absorption, potentially night vision for your helmet, and some of the strength. Like strength 2 would be great for your charm slot. But so far, the enchanting stuff, really, really cool. Now, I know that we've kind of left this all alone by its lonesome, and And Botania is one of my favorite mods, and I just, every time I look at this, I'm like, man, this is so pathetic. I can't believe I just built this really crummy setup, and I spent no time with Botania. Well, we're going to solve that. I'm going to go ahead and start to revamp our Botania area. This setup can be changed a lot, but right now we have enough mana that we could potentially start working on our runes and probably make one piece of Terrasteel. So let's take a look at Botania, and we're going to probably progress mostly through Botania today, and get ourselves at least the Elven portal up. I think we could easily do that today and have no issues. So let's just take a look at what we're going to need for that. One, we're going to need a mana pool. We're going to need Botania. We're also going to need a, let's see, Botania. We got to make sure Botania is actually filled up. We're going to need a runic altar. So let's get an ender pearl. Toss that in our mana pool. And then we should be able to put that in here. Get ourselves a runic altar. Great. We'll set that runic altar right here. I don't know if we have enough wood for another mana spreader, but we'll try. Let's go ahead and grab a mana spreader. Ah, we do. Perfect. We'll set that here. Let's get our wand. And we're going to link this to here. This is going to now, since it's directly next to this, is going to pull mana from here, and it's going to put it directly into the altar. Now, we are going to need runes. And I recommend taking all the runes that you're going to need, which are your base runes, and just hitting A over them. It is all of these. Actually, I don't think spring is one of them. You're going to need your base spring. One is mana. Where is our mana one? Air, autumn, mana. Okay, so these 5 are your base runes that you're going to need. So it's best that we go ahead and we start working with them. Also, let's go ahead and get my flowers. I'm going to need my pure daisies, which I guess they're already over there. Let's go ahead and get some wood. Some good old logs. I guess any wood. Now, since we have that thing going and I have it connected to my system, it's so hard to sort through all the wood. We have so much. Yes, we just need to kind of get more of this down, as we're going to be using a lot of it here soon. Yeah, I had some people ask me, is the the range of the flower able to be changed any? And I don't think so. This is pretty much it. It is a 9x9 or a 3x3 around the pure daisy, and that's about all you're going to get. So I mean, it's always worked for me. So I never found it to be a problem. So once we have that working, let's go ahead and start looking at these runes. So the rune of mana is pretty simple. It's 5 mana steel and 1 pearl. And we just found that out earlier. Let's go ahead and take the mana steel. So that's going to be iron. And we can probably make quite a bit of this. Let's just go ahead and half that. And we'll get ourselves 32. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a pearl. We'll set this off. Now this is going to start filling this with mana. And you can kind of see there that it's doing that. Inside here, let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to need to grab some living rock. And when this is done, we should be able to grab all that. And there we go. This should be enough living wood for today. All right. So with that done, we just place the living rock right on top. And then, bam, we get ourselves a rune of mana. Now, these other runes are a little bit different. We have a rune of air, which requires string, feather, and carpet. So we just need to make sure we get all these items. So a string, feather, and carpet, which would be wool, right? Wool, piece of carpet. And then the other one is the earth, which would be a mushroom. I still don't know why it shows like 8 blocks, but you only need 1. And then some stone. So mushroom, coal block. It's not charcoal, I don't believe. It's just coal. And then stone. A good old block of stone. The other one is going to be fire, which is going to be a nether wart. I believe nether brick. like an actual brick, and then gunpowder. Another brick, gunpowder. And last but not least, the water one, which is going to require a fishing rod, which I'm going to have to make that one for sure. Sugar cane and bone meal. Good old bone meal. All right, all of that is also going to be capped away with some redstone. So you need 1, 2, 3, 4, just 4 pieces of redstone. And we're going to need 4 mana steel, which we of course have all that. So we're going to make some mana powder. All of these are going to require some mana powder as well. So this is very simple. I'm going to go ahead and make these. They're made the same way you make the mana ones. Literally just follow the recipe. Very simple. Boom and boom. And it'll auto start. You fill it with your living rock and you'll be good to go. So I'll be back once this is done. So on the last one here, we should be able to just go ahead and throw this on here. And voila. That is the last set of the main that we are going to need for getting ourselves into the Terrasteel agglomeration stuff. So, speaking of agglomeration plate, we should now be able to go ahead and make one. It shouldn't take too much. We just need a little bit of lapis blocks. And bam, we have a Terrasteel agglomeration plate. This thing is wonderful. We're still going to need 4 lapis blocks, though. Like a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is just temporary. This is not permanent. This is not where I'm going to fully set this up, but for right now it is going to work for me. We are going to set this pattern just like so, with the lapis going like this. Inside the middle will be the agglomeration plate, and it's almost ready to go. We have enough mana to go ahead and actually make some Terrasteel, but first we're going to need a spark. These sparks are going to let us send mana quickly from our mana pool to something that needs mana, such as the agglomeration plate. So just place it right on top, and look how quick and easy that is. So if you take your wand, you can right click on there and you can see this nice little particle effect that's going to show up, and it's going to show where it's connected. You can see it's connected really quick right there. So we're going to need some mana steel to make this. We're also going to need a diamond. So Terrasteel to make it is just a diamond, a mana diamond, a pearl, and a piece of Terrasteel, or a piece of mana steel. And all you got to do is just right-click these things onto the plate, and as soon as you get that last one on there, look what happens. This is going to start the process of making Terrasteel. As of right now, we just need 1, but this process is actually really quick as long as you have enough mana in your mana pool, which this is going to consume half a mana pool, half of a full mana pool, by the way. So yeah, it's gonna start chowing down on this mana pool pretty quickly. And then last but not least, or not last but not least, but as of right now, it's done. Look at that. Dancer in the dark. So we have our piece of Terrasteel. You only need 1 to be able to get to the next step of Botania and sort of unlocking all the potential that Botania has to offer. So let's go ahead and do that. And the reason I want to get this done quickly is so I can decorate. Once you have this layout, you kind of can start to come up with the idea of how you want your area to look when it comes to our Botania stuff. So to get this to work, we are going to need some glimmering wood right here. And I believe I need 3 of these. If I remember correctly, it's 3 glimmering wood. And then the gateway is going to require us to break down our Terrasteel into 9 nuggets. And that's great because we also need an Natura pylon, and this requires 3, and we're going to need 2 of those. So really, this is going to consume the entire thing. So now we have our Elven gateway core, and last but not least, we're going to need our Natura pylons. We're going to need 2 of these, which require some mana diamonds, which of course is just some diamonds. 2 of those, and we should be good. There we go. I love that sound. It's just such a satisfying sound, by the way. All right, let's go back here, and we should be able to make 2 of these. What are we missing? I think it's just because it wasn't in my inventory. There we go. Awesome. So 2 of the mana pylons. Next, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have some Eyes of Ender. And we should be able to make this. Perfect. And make 2 of them. There we go. Next step, we are going to need a couple more mana pools. And these mana pools are going to be set up where we want this thing to be. And I'm kind of taking a look at how all of this is structured. And I'm thinking I want the gateway to be right over here. We're going to need our living wood, the gateway. I'm thinking right in this area. All this is going to be moved, so I'm not too concerned about it right now. But the core, let's go ahead and place that right here. Beside that, we're just going to go ahead and build up this guy. So keep in mind these corners are going to be removed. We're going to need glimmering here. Our regular wood, one here, and then glimmering on that again. And then, of course, right here, up one, glimmering again. Not a mana pool. I don't know how that got in my inventory. Glimmering, and there we go. And then, of course, I'm going to clear out these corner pieces as they're not needed. You can decorate, however, and put corner pieces there if you do feel so necessary, but for me right now, it's not a big deal. And then right here, I'm going to set these mana pools. Above those are going to go the Natura pylons. And this, guys, is basically the setup that you need. Now, we do need some mana inside this mana pool. So to do that right now, I'm going to go ahead and take all of these mana spreaders. I'm just going to break everything down that we had set up, right? Because we really don't need this setup right now. We're going to work on this here in a second and changing things up. But I just want to get all the mana out of here, out of this mana pool. Probably the best way to do that is just to take 2 mana spreaders. Also, we're going to remove this and this whole setup. You guys have mentioned easier ways of setting this up, by the way. So we'll have to kind of experiment with that and see how that goes. Let's see. I should have some dirt on me. Awesome. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and try to split this up. But we're still going to need to generate more mana. So let's link this one to this pool, and we'll link this one to this pool. And that's just going to slowly drain this and start filling these guys up. And these need to have about 1/8 of a mana pool before we can start this gateway up. So keep that in mind. We do need to have that. And while we wait, I'm going to go ahead and tear the rest of this down, and I'm going to start building and trying to make this area look a little bit nicer. So I'm sort of trying to flesh out the idea of how I want to automate this, and I've sort of come up with a pretty decent way of doing that, and that is to use these automatic precision droppers from Actual Editions. These work out wonderful and do the job amazing. Like, these are perfect. All we gotta do is place a pressure plate on top, and when we feed it coal, so like coal for example, I'm just going to use this, and we place like a stack in here and kind of get back, it's only going to replace it. It's only going to place one at a time. Once one of these guys consume it, which right now there's honestly nowhere for the Indo Flames to go, so it's not really going to consume it, but if I was to pick it up, it's going to place another one. And it's only going to place one at a time. This is probably the simplest the setup can get. Like, I'm not going to joke. This is literally about as simple as it gets. But we're not going to use coal. We're going to use a different kind. So I went ahead and I'm sort of dragging my cable along with me. Over here, you can kind of see that. And I'm just kind of dragging the cable all the way over here until we get to these guys. So, right here should be our block somewhere. Oh, it's right here. So right along this line, we should see our precision dropper, which should be somewhere right here. There we go, right here. And this is where we want to hook our refined storage system to it. We'll do the same thing right here, and there we go. So we should be able to hook up our refined storage system and call it a day and set this guy up for auto crafting, and that should work out great. So we are going to need, what is it, exporters, because we're going to be exporting things out of our system. So we're going to need 2 of those. And also, we're going to need those crafter cards. We're also going to need to get this guy set up. I don't think I have coal in here as an auto-crafting recipe. No. So coal's not in here. So, we can go ahead and make that. And go... Alright, so I need to make coal. Coal... Oh, I guess we can use piles of ash. That's kind of nice. But honestly, we're going to be using the essence. So that'll make coal. And we also need to make a recipe for a coal block. So there we go. Perfect. We probably could eventually use charcoal. I think getting a charcoal setup, automation setup, would probably be good. We might swap that up later on so we're not using up all of our coal. But for right now, this should work. And then we can throw those into here. And we're also going to need ourselves some crafting patterns, crafting upgrades. There we go. I'm going to need 2 of those, 1 for each. And I'm assuming I'm going to need 4 workbenches. Yep, and the construction cores. Perfect. That is literally everything we need to hook this up and call it a day. Except for coal blocks. We need to have 1 of those to specify what we're going to be creating. And that should just fill up and we can call it good. Right? So we'll set the crafting in here. We'll say, all right, put me coal in there. Same for this one. We'll say, all right, coal blocks in here, crafting recipe, craft me up, all of that good stuff. And then we are going to extend this, connect it, and that should be it. Now, it is going to pump that out mainly because my magnet is on, but as you can see, it's not going to fully stay that way. Honestly, these are both on the same, so this probably is going to take a minute before this starts to work. They're both going to have to be completely full before the crafting will function for both, but that's the only downside to doing it this way. The only way I can think is to have it go into a single crate and then just do a round robin with a Ender IO conduit. That would probably be the only other way to do that, because I don't think... Does this have a round robin feature? Doesn't seem like it. So no. It just... That's just controls on how to match what's connected to it. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, I'm sort of coming up with this little bit of an idea here on how this is going to look. And I think it's going to turn out quite well. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, I do believe we should be able to activate this thing. I think we have enough to activate it. If not, it'll just fail on us. So yeah, let's try this. And hey, it activated. So perfect. Now, it doesn't cost anything to keep it activated, but it did cost a little bit of mana to start it. So don't turn it off once you have it on. The only time it's going to start using mana is whenever you craft items in it. So just leave it running. There's no reason to turn this thing off, to be honest. Also, don't use it as a trash can. I know it can accept items, but please do not use it as a trash can, as I have learned from my mistakes in the past of using it, or actually not, I wasn't even using it as a trash can. I was just running automation through it, and the automation kind of got out of control and just basically started voiding items in it. Once this thing gets too many items in it, it will crash your game, which is no fun. So here is what I would call pretty much done for a build. This guy is almost done. I think I still want to put some blocks around the outside, but what I did was I have tons of leaves, right? So I have tons of leaves. So I just went through here and just grabbed a bunch of leaves and just started placing them. And that's why you get this like really random leaf pattern. But I thought it really fits with Botania because Botania is so colorful and there's so much stuff that goes on with Botania. You can just see it's just kind of chaos here, but it's chaos by design. It's got a design in mind. So you can see I kind of thought about this idea of putting like petal apothecaries underneath our mana spreaders to make them look like they were on something. You can definitely change the apothecary later on. There's some different stone that you can use, but I thought this was a really neat idea to kind of do that. Along with this idea, super easy setup for the automation. And this is just going to keep generating mana, and it's going to generate mana while we work on other things in future episodes. So that is going to work. And then I went over here, and I sort of did the trick that has been around for a long time, where you place the wood down here, and then when we have the wood in our inventory, so like, let's go wood. We have so much wood now, so it's going to kind of get hard to this sort of, what is this? Fireproof wood from forestry? Wow, we are getting all kinds of goodies. But yeah, we should be able to just, slap that on there. That's going to place it down, and it's going to be good to go. Just like over here, when we mine this out, which I don't know, is that that's going to affect that, isn't it? So yeah, that is kind of going to affect a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about that. Anyways, that's going to mine out, and like I said, I have it on me, so bam, do that, and then I have some more again. Now, automation for this would probably be something that we're going to set up later on, as I do like this material. So this is like the living wood planks that you get. Living wood looks like this. And then, of course, this is your living rock brick, and this is your living rock. So I think that looks really good. And like I said, it's going to be generating. It's going to be working for a while. And then we just went ahead and added these little light orbs up here, and that should be fine. I have noticed, though, with this armor that we enchanted, mobs really haven't been bothering me. I do know I have this lit up quite well, but that still hasn't prevented mobs from seeing me way off in the distance. The range on the mobs are way out there. And I think that has a lot to do with the shadow step that we have on here. We have max shadow step, which prevents mobs from detecting us. Which is really nice. So we can be right up on a mob and they really won't know we're even around. So it saves us a lot of trouble when just working on building, which is stuff that I really like to do. So this is working out. This is going to be our little Botania setup. Now you might be wondering, well, what are you going to use this for, and why do you need Botania? Well, Botania has a lot of cool things that we can do. We can duplicate items basically with Botania. There's a lot of cool instruments and tools that we can use. And a lot of cool like baubles and things that we can throw on ourselves to make ourselves look cool. Also, we have the Pinkinator, and the boss rewards are kind of crazy as well. Like, we can make ourselves super overpowered. Plus, the building materials that Botania offers is kind of nice. I do like some of the Botania stuff. But yes, there are things and there are going to be uses for Botania later on. Believe me, I'm almost positive that Botania is definitely a part of late game. And I don't exactly know what item it would be. Probably something to do with relics, maybe. Let's take a look at the relics. So, like, we have our relics here. This right here can be plants. We can use it to make a holy sword of Excalibur. So yeah, I don't know exactly what that does, but that's kind of cool. Even though this is the key of King's Law, which has its own effects. And there's some other things, you know, that are probably craftable late game. So if we take a look at all, or I think it's ATM right here. So we're going to see that some of these things do. Okay, so a biscuit of totality is one of the items. So we're pretty much just a cookie inside of a mana pool gets us that. So as you can see, there's already some stuff that requires you to get into Botania. Gaia Spirit Ingots. So this comes from, you have to craft it after defeating the boss. And this ingot basically is what you would use to spawn the tier 2 boss of Botania. So yes, we do have to get into Botania. I do see that Psi is something that we have to get into as well. That's going to be a little difficult for me because I've never touched Psi. I've touched it a little bit. I've not played with it too much. But this is probably going to be the next mod we're going to be looking at getting into. And that is going to be Astral Sorcery, guys. So Astral Sorcery is going to be coming up very soon. So I hope you guys are ready for that. You guys did say in the comments that you do want to see some Astral Sorcery. So believe me, that is going to be coming very soon. I absolutely love that mod. It is one of my favorites. And it's why I have the little flare floating around me, as you can see. Also, you can tell Shadow Step gives us this particle effect around our feet, by the way, just in case you wanted to know what that was coming from as well. So yeah, some pretty cool stuff that happens. Like, I mean, there's so many cool things in this mod pack. It's so hard to cover all of them. But I am definitely trying my best, guys. Anyways, I hope to see you guys in the next episode. And as always, you guys know how it is. Thanks for watching.